All right, welcome back to another game of Precision Baseball. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of Precision Baseball. And in this game, I'm going to be finishing up the last half of a game I started offline. It's between the Brewers and the Cubs. This is April 1st, 2023. If you watched my opening day game, this is game 2 of that series. And at present, Milwaukee leads 6-0 going into the top of the 5th. Justin Steele is on the mound, and Woodruff is on the mound for Milwaukee. Pitching really well. He's only given up 1 hit so far. He has a handful of strikeouts and has really kept this Chicago lineup down. Yeah, I think I'll just get right into it. You'll see the players as we go along. It's going to be Christian Yelich leading off for the Brew Crew. The Brewers, just as a recap, got a solo home run in the first from Willy Adames. They got a 2-run homer from Christian Yelich in the 3rd inning, and then the 3 runs are accounted for by 3-run homer from Joey Weimer, part-time outfielder for Milwaukee. I'm playing at Wrigley Field, and yeah, I think we're ready to go. So let's get into this one. It's going to be Christian Yelich, William Contreras, and Luke Voit. I don't know if I rolled that over, but that's going to be a 2. So it's Yelich against Steele. I'm not going to walk through a lot of this. I'm just going to kind of play it the way I play it, and I'll announce what's going on, but I'm not going to do a lot of like talk through. I've done a lot of talk through videos about how everything works, so just go to the Precision Baseball playlist. There's a slow play video where I talk through everything. The last few videos I've done have been real slow, but I feel like it's given a false impression of how the game plays, because it's not as slow as I've been playing it. So we have a 2 here. That's going to come off of Yelich's card at 658 against a lefty. Is going to be a strikeout. So Yelich goes down. He's now 1 for 3 in the game. And strikeout keeps our pitcher there. And it'll be William Contreras, right-handed hitting catcher for the Brew Crew. That's a 10. So Contreras is a 1-9. So this comes off of the pitcher card 603. It's going to be another strikeout. So back-to-back Ks for Justin Steele. He stays there. Sorry, I just get into the habit of moving the stamina. That's not a bad habit to be in. Luke Voit stands in. Luke Voit grounded out twice. This comes off of Steele's card, 279. Against a righty is going to be a fly ball. This goes out to first base, and no problem for the first baseman. It's Eric Hosmer who makes the catch on the pop-up. So 1-2-3 inning for Justin Steele, as he's going to remain there for the 1-2-3 inning. So any 1-2-3 innings, you don't move their stamina, or technically you move it down for the batter and then back up 1 for the 1-2-3 inning. All right, we head to the bottom of the 5th, 6-0 Milwaukee over Chicago. Chicago's going to send up Eric Hosmer, Nick Madrigal, and Tucker Barnhart. So Eric Hosmer has struck out in his only at bat against Woodruff. He is a 1-6 to control, so this is off the pitcher. 384, he gets wood on it. Against a lefty, 384 is going to be a line drive. And 860, that's a liner to right field. No problem out in right field, as the catch is made for out number 1. Brings up Nicky Madrigal. This is going to come off of Madrigal's card. An 814 against a right-hander is a base hit. And at Wrigley Field, that's going to be a blooper into right center field. And that is picked up by the right fielder. So, who is that? That's Brian Anderson. Anderson has a +4 range plus arm. Madrigal runs at a -3. There's no way he's going to try to stretch that. So he steals at a +1. But our catcher's arm is a -1 and a hold, so it's a 0. A 0 and a +1 is a 1. We got a catcher up. Let's go ahead and try to do the stealing, and we'll see if he gets in there. He's going to be a +1 on his stealing, and this is our stealing column that he's going to be in, 1 to 3. It is a 0.77, and he is going to be in there with a stolen base. So Nick Madrigal gets himself into scoring position. I don't think I moved him. So it's going to be Tucker Barnhart to the plate with a man in scoring position. 1 out. Bottom of the 5th inning. 20 is going to go off a Woodruff's card. A 984 will be a hit off of his card. Anything above 833 is a hit off the pitcher card. For Barnhart, a 480 is going to be a single, and that's going to be a ground ball into left center field as it gets past the shortstop. And that's going to be a single there. Base runner goes to third. Who picks up the ball? It'll be the center fielder picking up the ball. That's Joey Weimer. He's a 0. Our guy he runs at a -3. So that's going to be all on the base runner. That's not a very good percentage to me, as Weimer gets to it quickly. And so we're going to have runners at first and third. Tucker Barnhart with a single. Maybe it was a line drive. He had to wait and hold up a little bit, so he gets to third base. Got runners at first and third. Nico Horner to the plate. Horner over 2. It's got a fly out and a line out. A 13 is going to be to Brandon Woodruff's card. An 854 is a hit against a right-hander. So Nico Horner with the base hit. That's going to be a ground ball down the left field line. That'll score the runner from third as the Cubs get on the board. And Tucker Barnhart is a 0. So the Cubs are aggressive. So first to third, a 0 down the left field line is a hold. So he's going to hold at second base. And Brandon Woodruff cracking just a little bit. It's going to be Dansby Swanson to the plate. Swanson has doubled and struck out in this one. And 11 is going to go to Woodruff's card. A 481 against a righty is a line drive. Doesn't strike out right-handers as much as lefties. That liner goes to left field. It'll be caught in left field. So that'll be out number 2. Let's see if there's any runner advancement. 745. Looks like no runner advancement. It's red all the way through. So runners will hold at first and second base, and that'll bring up Ian Happ to the plate. Happ 0 for 2. He's got a fly out and a line out trying to help the Cubs here. Cubs got 1 in already here in the 5th. They're down 6-1, and Ian Happ stands in. He lined out to center in his last at bat. He's hitting left-handed against Woodruff. So that's going to be even Steven here. And so this is off Woodruff's card. 470 against a lefty is going to be a strikeout. Like I said, he strikes out left-handers at a higher rate than right-handers. In fact, it's just a little bit more, 28 to 31, 31 to 28%. You have all those percentages down here at the bottom, based off of splits. But that's going to end the inning as the Cubs do get 1, and they get on the board It's now 6-1, Milwaukee over Chicago. Justin Steele had a good last inning. He's going to go out for the 6th. He's given up 6 runs, but still in the game as far as his stamina is concerned. Definitely, you know, a number 1 starter, 24-25 for his stamina. He'll face off against Tellez, Anderson, and Miller. Tellez against the lefty is a -1. Steele's a -4, so 1-5 for Tellez to control. So this is a 0-70. That's going to be a grounder. And that ground ball goes to second base. And there's no error on the play. So getting it over to first base is, who's playing second? Nico Horner. Might be the last inning for Justin Steele. We'll have to see. Brings up Brian Anderson. Anderson 1 for 2. He's got a single and he scored on the 3-run homer by Weimer. An 18 goes to Justin Steele. This is a 240. 240 against a righty is going to be a fly ball. Fly ball goes to third base, so it's a pop up to third. And standing at third, just behind the bag, is Nick Madrigal. He's going to make the catch on that P5. So 2 quick outs for Justin Steele, and it'll be Owen Miller playing second base in this one for Milwaukee. Got a 4. A 4 is Miller's a righty. He's a 1-4 to control, so this comes off the batter's card. So 3-11 against the lefty is going to be a fly ball. That goes to left field, and the left fielder is Ian Happ. He squeezes it for the out. That's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Justin Steele, who is going to leave his mark there, and might have earned him an extra inning in my book. No, there's a DH for universal DH here, so no need to switch out because pitchers are hitting or anything. So we got Cody Bellinger, Trey Mancini, and I substituted in Patrick Wisdom because I didn't have a Rios card. He got stuck on like a single card on a page, and I didn't print it out. He'll eventually get printed out at some point. I plan to do all of the opening day games, so I think, you know, I'm going to wind up printing everybody. We have next game up will be Pirates at the Reds, so I'll just print it and cut those. Cody Bellinger up. Belly is 0 for 1. He's got a walk and a strikeout. Against righties, he's a +2, pretty good. Actually, pretty good all over, +2 both ways. But Woodruff against righties is better. So Bellinger's a 1-9 to control. It's a 9, and 8-12 against a righty is going to be a base hit. So Bellinger with the blooper down the right field line gets jammed a little bit, but he's going to put that one in safely. Is there an error on the right fielder? No error. So Bellinger's going to be there. He runs at a +1. The right fielder is Anderson. He's a +4, so I'm not going to run on that. Anderson, good outfielder. A 3 range. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead and check the base runner at first. 856. Bellinger is a +1 stealing. So that'll be a normal lead. Is there a pickoff attempt? There is a pickoff attempt, 979. So let's do that. We got our pickoff plays here. And Woodruff throws over to first. So Woodruff is a 0 on his hold, so we're looking here on the normal. So it has to be 981 to 1,000, and he'll pick him off at first. It's a 637. That's not a pickoff, so he's safe. Back to first. And you can keep playing that game until you run out of step offs. So you get 3 before you can pick them off. But I'm just gonna keep the game moving. So he had his shot at him. Trey Mancini to the plate. Mancini is 0 for 1. He walked also. Only 2 walks in the game, and Bellinger and Mancini have those walks. So it's going to be a 10. A 10 against a righty is going to go for Woodruff. 360 is going to be a fly ball, and that fly ball goes to left field. The left fielder makes the catch. That'll be out number 1. Let's see if there's any runner advancement here. Fly ball to left field, 660, probably not. With a runner on first, that's red. And so we're going to head to the next batter. The next batter up will be Patrick Wisdom, getting a start at the DH position. He struck out twice. Maybe I should print out that Rios card. Don't know. But right-hander, he's going to be a 1-7 in control. So this is off Woodruff. 490 against a righty is a line drive. And that liner goes to left field. And no problem out there in left for Christian Yelich as he makes a good catch on that liner. That's 2 outs. Let's see if there's any, how deep it was. Is there any runner advancement there? So 288 on a line drive. Liner to left. That's red. All right. And Eric Hosmer to the plate. I think I needed to do that. So Eric Hosmer to the plate. He's over 2 as well. He's got a strikeout and a line drive. Bellinger at first base. We should do the pickoff attempt, I guess. 406. 406 against a 0 is a normal. Is there a pickoff play? There's no pickoff play. And so we're rolling for Hosmer. Hosmer is going to get control of this at bat. And that's a 581. 581 is a strikeout for Hosmer. So he struck out twice. And that'll be the end of the inning as the Cubs strand 1 runner at first base. And it is still 6-1 as we head to the top of the 7th. We're going to leave Justin Steele in there. We'll see if he gets in trouble. He's facing Weimer. Weimer 1 for 2. He's got a strikeout and a 3-run jack. Playing in center field. Only got about 400 plate appearances. So part-time player, not a full-time player, but a nice looking player. I don't think he's, maybe it's Weimer. Joey Weimer? Weimer maybe is better. So he is going to control this at bat, and that'll be off his card. 150 against the lefty is going to be a fly ball as he gets wood on it. And this one is hit out to left field. Looks like a can of corn, and it is. That is a catch in left by Ian Happ. That'll be 1 out in the 7th inning. You can see that the stamina here is 24. That's based off of how many average batters per game that he got into. But you can tell we're already at 27. So stamina can fluctuate. It can go up, down, left, right. Just depends on how the pitcher is performing, which I think is a better way to do it, you know, than just straight batters. Mike Brousseau has been leading off this game. He is over 3. He is yet to hit it out of the infield. Pop up to short, ground ball to first, and a strikeout. He is facing a lefty, so this is going to be a 1-3 for controls. This goes to Justin Steele. 691 against a righty is going to be another strikeout. And part of that is because Steele's so good. Part of it is that Mike Brousseau is not a starting caliber player. So just gonna put that out there. Willie Adames to the plate. Adames is 2 for 3. He's got a double and a home run. Grounded out his last at bat though. So this is going to be a 1-4 for control. So this comes off the pitcher card. A 432 is against a righty is going to be a line drive. That liner goes to left. Ian Happ is there, and he'll make the running catch on a liner to left field, and that'll be 3 outs. So 3 up, 3 down again as Justin Steele. I don't know. Ride the hot pitcher, right? He is set down Milwaukee in order after 5 runs in the 3rd and 4th, but the game belongs at this point to Milwaukee as they still lead 6-1. And it'll be Madrigal, Barnhart, and Nico Horner to the plate against Brandon Woodruff. A 19 is going to go off Woodruff's card. 451 against a righty is going to be a liner. 337 will go to left field, and that's going to be a nice catch in left. So Nick Madrigal lines out to the left fielder. That is Christian Yelich. That brings up Tucker Barnhart. This is going to go off Woodruff's card as well. So a 386 against a lefty is going to be another line drive. 296 will be a liner to left again, and Yelich is up to it as he makes a fine running catch in the gap. And Barnhart a little frustrated because he got good wood on it, but Yelich runs it down out in left field. That'll bring up Nico Horner to the plate. Horner singled and drove in a run in his last at-bat. This comes off Horner's card. 943 is going to be another base hit, and this time it'll be a blooper down the left field line. Now, Nico Horner has good speed. Christian Yelich, though, is a +1. Nico Horner runs at a +5, so that's going to be all on Yelich. He's going to try to stretch this into a double. And what we do when the runner's speed is faster, we use the outfield arm chart. Yelich, not a strong arm. He's a -6. So actually we're going to use, we'll use the -6. So he's got a 31 to 100. That'll be a thrown out at second, and it's not thrown out at second. So into second base is Nico Horner with a hustle double. Nice play there from the Cubs leadoff man. He's now 2 for 4. Brings up Dansby Swanson, chance to drive in a run. He's 1 for 3. This comes off Woodruff's card. A 365 against a righty is going to be a fly ball. That goes to 519. That's a fly ball out to right field. Possible error on the play. The right fielder is Brian Anderson. His error rating is a 0. And a 0 is a 22 to 32. We have a 32, and that's going to be an error. E9 on the right fielder. Now that's going to allow the runner to move up to third as Anderson just flat out dropped the ball. That's going to put runners at first and third with 2 outs for Ian Happ. Dangerous bat coming to the plate. He is going to control the at bat, and this will be a 724 against a righty. Is going to be a walk. So Woodruff walks the bases loaded, and he would go down. We're going to do a mound visit, so that puts him back up to a +1. Just going to talk through what we're doing here. Facing Cody Bellinger. Brandon Woodruff strong against lefties. Bellinger even Steven against righties. And we have an odd play here. So it matters who controls the at bat. So we're going to check that first. So Bellinger against righties is a +2, and we're a -1. So 1 to 9. This is a 9. So this comes off of Bellinger's card. Now at 222, you always look for a 3 of a kind. So 222 against a righty is going to be a fly ball. So we have an unusual play for a fly ball. So let's find that out. Could be a game-changing play. And a lot of ground balls. All right, so let's look at our play. We're gonna roll here. It is a 380. 380 will be this chart. So 376 to 395. High fly ball deep to center field. The center fielder waits at the warning track. He jumps and he catches the ball. If less than 2 outs, runners on second and third base advance. Wow. So So drove it to the wall, and jumping at the wall to make the catch up against the wall is going to be the center fielder. That's Joey Weimer. And he is going to be out. There's 2 outs in the inning and just misses a 3-run home run. Tough play there for Cody Bellinger and the Cubs. As up against the ivy, Weimer makes the catch. They strand bases loaded and don't score any runs in the 7th. That's a huge inning for them. Brandon Woodruff, that's going to end his night, I think. But a very valiant 7 innings, as he gives up just 1 run. Gets really close to giving up 4, though. And we're going to head to the top of the 8th inning. Justin Steele still in it. And we'll leave him in there to face the heart of the order. It's going to be Yelich, Contreras, and Voit. Yelich is 1 for 3. This is going to be control to Justin Steele. 697 against a lefty is going to be a walk, and that's no bueno. Let's see how he does with Contreras. Might regret this. Contreras 1 for 3 with a double. This comes off of Steele's card. A 293 though. Against a righty is going to be a fly ball. That goes to the first baseman. To the second baseman. And popped up to second base. Contreras is going to be out. We'll go P4. No runner advancement on a pop-up. And we're facing Luke Voit. When the stamina hits 0, you'd go straight off of the batter card. So no, you can just ignore that. A 455 against the lefty is going to be a strikeout. So Luke Voit strikes out. You can see here 303 to 908 is a strikeout for Luke Voit. That's why he's not playing for Milwaukee anymore. Wow, that's a 60% strikeout rate against left-handers. Not so good. That's actually going to give, with a strikeout, Justin Steele gets bumped up 1 again. And it's going to be Rowdy Tellez to the plate. He is 1 for 3. This comes off of Steele's card. I guess we should roll for that pickoff. So Christian Yelich is a +6. 182 to plus this. That's a normal. Is there a pickoff? No pickoff play. Okay, so let's roll here for Rowdy Tellez. This comes off Tellez's card. 889 against a lefty is going to be a base hit. And that is a ground ball into center field as he bangs it through the middle. And going to second base is going to be Christian Yelich. He does run like a deer. And first to third, they're aggressive. He's in this column here into center field. It's going to be my choice. So I'm going to leave him at second base. That takes Justin Steele back down to 0. Brings up Brian Anderson. Runners at first and second and 2 outs. This doesn't matter. So a 114 is going to be a ground ball that goes to second base. And 144 is going to be a good catch at second base. So let's see what happens on the play, though. We've got our results here. So a 267 ground ball to second base. We have runners at first and second. 267 is here. So that's going to be a 4-3 put out if there are 2 outs. So no funny business on the play, just a straight up 4-3 put out. And that will end the inning and end the threat. As Justin Steele goes 8 innings, strong innings, and he did give up 6 runs, but he's thrown up 4 zeros since the 4th inning. So I think he's bearing down and settled down just a little bit. We're going to get Brandon Woodruff out of the game. So let me get a new pitcher for Milwaukee. All right, into the game is going to be Trevor McGill, Tyler McGill's brother, I believe, who pitches for the Mets. I'm also going to insert Mike Tauchman into the game. Not sure if Tauchman was available at this point, but I'm going to use him. And he's going to replace Trey Mancini. Mancini 0 for 2 with a walk. He hits right-handed pitching just a little bit better. That may or may not help. And let's see how this one goes. So McGill has a stamina of 5. He is inserted into the game for Brandon Woodruff, who goes 7 innings, gives up 6 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, and faced 31 batters in 7 innings. So bottom of the 8th inning, Cubs need some runs. Harry says, let's get some runs. And at this point, it's going to be a 1-9 for control for Topman. So this comes off the pitcher. 124 against the lefty is going to be a grounder. That goes to the second baseman, and play is made at second base by, who plays second? Owen Miller. Oh. So, sorry, he actually came in right there. And so that's going to be out number 1 as McGill gets the first out in the 8th. It's going to be Patrick Wisdom to the plate. Wisdom is 0 for 3. He's got a couple of strikeouts. This comes off of his card. A 952 against a right-hander is going to be left out over the plate. And Patrick Wisdom gets all the wood on it as he hits this one down the left field line. It's hooking, but it hits the fair pole. And it's down the left field line off of the fair pole at Wrigley Field. And the crowd is going nuts as Patrick Wisdom hooks one down the line for a solo home run. It's now 6-2. Cubs trailing Milwaukee. The hated Milwaukee Brewers. Brings up Eric Hosmer to the plate. Hosmer, left-handed batter. This comes off his card. A 409 against a right-hander is going to be a strikeout. Oh, no, it's not. 409 is going to be a liner. That goes to right field, and the right fielder is there to make the play. It's Brian Anderson in right, making a nice play on a line drive, sinking liner. And 2 down in the inning, 1 RDM for the Cubs on the Patrick Wisdom home run. That brings up Nicky Madrigal. He is 1 for 3. Trevor McGill going to control this, but it's going to be a hit. A 921 for Madrigal will be a 242. That's a single. A little blooper into center field that falls. And that's going to be a base knock as he is on board with a 2-out single. Cubs really need some pop here. I don't know. Let's see. A 989 for Gomes. It's a 983. Gomes a little better hitter. So let's go ahead and sub in Yan Gomes. He'll be the catcher. And he is a 0 and a 2 and -1. So Gomes comes in and he'll face off against Trevor McGill. Gomes is a 1-8 to control the at-bat. He's a little better hitter, but this comes off the pitcher card. A 044 is going to be a ground ball. So Trevor McGill not giving up too many ground balls to the righties, but he does here, and I never checked that runner at first. Madrigal's not going to steal. He's a -3, so I don't feel too bad about that. A ground ball to 810 will be a grounder to third, and that is going to be a catch made at third base. So let's see what happens on the play. We've got 2 outs in the inning and a runner at first base. So a 926 is here. Runner at first base, that's a 5-4 put out with 2 outs. So they go the short way, and they get the runner at second base. And that'll be out number 3. So the Cubs do get 1 back on the Patrick Wisdom home run down the left field line. But they're still trailing 6-2, and going out for the 9th inning is going to be a new pitcher. Right, new pitcher into the game is going to be Michael Fulmer for the Cubs. He takes over for Justin Steele. Steele goes 8 innings, gives up 9 hits, 6 runs, all earned, just 1 walk and 7 strikeouts. If you look here, very sparse through the back half of the game, but trouble really here in the 3rd and 4th inning for the man of steel. He's on the hook for the loss as the Cubs are down 6-2. Fulmer trying to keep it there right now. So this will be Owen Miller, Joey Weimer, and Michael Brousseau for the Brew Crew. This is Owen Miller. He's going to take control of the at-bat. 445 against a right-hander is going to be a liner. And 287, that's a line drive to left field. And no error on the play. So in left field, Ian Happ makes the catch, and that'll be out number 1 here in the top of the 9th inning. Last chance here for the Brewers to put more runs on the board. They haven't scored since the 4th. In the 3rd, they got 2 on a 2-run homer from Christian Yelich, and in the 3rd, they got a 3-run homer from this man, Joey Weimer. 6 is going to be control to the batter. 894 against a righty is going to be a base hit, and that will be a line drive into left field as Weimer, with his 2nd hit of the day, hits one into left. Any error on the play? No error on Happ as he gets it back in. Sorry, I should that's 1 for the line out, 1 for the single. And Weimer is at first. He steals at a 0. So let's see if he gets a lead, or what kind of lead he gets. 412 for a 0 is a normal lead. Is there a pickoff? No pickoff attempt. And so we've got Michael Brousseau to the plate. Brousseau 0 for 4. He struck out in his last 2 at-bats. This is actually going to go to his card for the card result. 717. Is going to be a strikeout. Not a total shock, as he has struck out 3 times. He's got the hat trick. It's going to bring up Willy Adames. Adames, a dangerous hitter. Seems like every time I see him get up to the plate, he hits the ball really hard. I wish he was playing for the Braves. Not that I'm complaining about Arcia. It's just, man, Adames just hits the ball really hard all the time. He is going to be even Steven with Michael Fulmer, so this is going to go off Adames' card. 344 against a righty is going to be a fly ball, as he puts this one in the air to left field, and Ian Happ is there to make the catch for out number 3. No chance for any runner advancement on the 3rd out, so don't need to check that, and that is the day is done for Milwaukee. Let's see if they can hold off. I went ahead and applied the pitcher for Milwaukee. It's going to be Payamps, Joel Payamps. He is -3 against lefties, -2 against righties. Not a safe situation, but definitely want to close the door against these top hitters here. So it'll be Nico Horner, Dansby Swanson, and then Ian Happ up for Chicago. Chicago looking for big runs here. They need 4 to tie. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning. This is game 2 for the Cubs of the 2023 World Series 2023 campaign. Nico Horner to the plate. He is 2 for 4. He had a double in his last at bat. He's also got an RBI single. So let's get this one going. This comes off Payamps' card. 136 against a righty is going to be a grounder. That will go to the 3rd baseman. And at 3rd, no problem there, as Brousseau makes the catch and makes the throw across the diamond for out number 1. Brings up Dansby Swanson. Swanson on board via an error in his last at-bat. Cubs down to their last 2 outs. This comes off Payamps' card as well. 603 against a righty is going to be a strikeout, as Payamps some gas. And he gets the K past Swanson. Ian Happ to the plate. Happer batting left-handed. He is 0 for 3. Walked in his last at-bat. Let's see if he can get on base here, An 11 is going to be, he has a +1, so that's going to be off his card. A 725 against a righty is a walk. So a couple walks in the game for Hap. He runs at a 0, or steals at a 0, sorry. So let's see what kind of lead he gets. He has an 824 to a 0. That's a normal lead. And there is a pickoff play. So Pyumps is a 0, and the pickoff has to be a 981 or higher to get him, and he doesn't. So close play at first, but Hap is back. Cody Bellinger to the plate. Belly is 1 for 3 with a walk. He's got a single. 14 is going to go to the pitcher's card. So 727 against a lefty will be a strikeout. It's right at his range. Look at that. 442 to 727. Wow. All right. So that's going to be a strikeout to end the game. And the Cubs drop another one to the Brew Crew, as they can't score in the 9th inning. They're going to lose this one by a score of 6-2. I believe the first one was a real wild one, so I can't remember. This was game 1. So 7-3, 6-2. Feels like, you know, normal. This is the Cubs. Drop a couple at home to start the year. And let me take a quick break. I'll come back with all the totals. All right, and we are back with the totals. It's 6-2, Milwaukee over Chicago. 6 runs on 10 hits, 1 error for Milwaukee, and 2 runs on 8 hits and no errors for the Cubbies. The win is going to go to Brandon Woodruff, 7 innings, 6 hits, just 1 run allowed. Had 3 walks, but also offset that with 8 strikeouts. Good cleanup here. The one blemish here in the bullpen is McGill giving up the home run to Patrick Wisdom. Otherwise, bullpen looking good for Milwaukee. Steele is going to take the loss. Tough loss. As he goes 8 innings, gives up 9 hits and 6 runs, and all of that in the first 4 innings. The rest of the back 4 were really good. Just 1 walk and 7 strikeouts for the Man of Steel. Fulmer comes in and closes the door, gives the Cubs a chance, but Pyump's just too much with 2 strikeouts in the 9th. So this is used using Precision Baseball, which is out now. You can purchase this 2023 season at clarkandaddisongaming.com. And the season is officially available, I guess. I haven't necessarily told every single channel out there, but definitely you're getting first crack at it if you're watching this YouTube video or if you're one of my subscribers here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you should. It doesn't cost you anything, and you'll be notified when I put out new video content, which comes out anywhere from 1 to 3 or 4 a week, something like that. Just depends on how much time we have. This game takes a little bit longer. It takes about an hour to an hour and a half to play, but you can tell, you know, the back half of this game I played innings 5 through 9, and didn't take quite as long. We're at 43 minutes, and that's with me talking and doing some other things. So the game's going to take you, once you get into it and you get into the rhythm of it, it's going to be anywhere between an hour and 15 minutes, I think, for you to do that. If you do a lot of like analysis and things like that, maybe an hour and a half. But once you get into sort of just the flow of the game, you'll realize that things move pretty quickly. We had some pretty exciting plays. We had a fly ball highlight play where the center fielder, Joey Weimer, went back to the ivy at Wrigley Field and right in front of the warning track, or right at the warning track, jumped up at the wall and made the catch. Didn't rob a home run, but he did make the catch up against the wall. That was here with the bases loaded, and that was this fly ball to center field. It didn't look quite as doesn't look quite as interesting on the paper as it did in real life, and that saved some runs for Milwaukee. but kind of fun. Fun to have those highlight plays. They're not all like one-of-a-kind plays, although there are literally one-of-a-kind in the history of baseball kind of plays on there. And those happen like at a 1 out of 1,000 roll, you know. And then that one out of 1,000 roll comes after a 10 out of 1,000 roll. So it's only about a 10 out of 1,000 chance to get into those highlight plays. And then once you get into them, then some of those plays are, you know, it's a 20 or 30% chance once you get into those plays. Some of them only happen once, right? So these ground balls here, tap to the left side, the pitcher fields it, but he falls down. There's no throw. It's an infield single. Tap down the first base line. The umpire says it hit the batter out of the batter's box, and so he's out. You know, these are just like super uncommon plays, and that only happens on a 1 to 1,000. And then you have to be inside the range here. So, you know, this guy has against right-handers, there are only 2 opportunities for that kind of play to happen. So ground balls, because it can happen at a 111 or it can happen at a 222. So just kind of, you know, fun place to have in there. I don't want them to be taking over the game, because I want you to sort of use your imagination with some. But even if you read through there, you could use some of those common plays just in your own head about things that happen. You also get the ballpark charts, which we have one here. I'm ready for the Cincinnati game, so you can see Great American Ballpark here. So you see that there's just different results. Great American Ballpark is a little bit generic. There's not a lot of interesting things necessarily as far as ground rules. There's one here off the yellow line in left field, which is a ground rule in this ballpark. But otherwise, it's kind of generic as far as what's inside the ballpark. But here, you can see there you can hit it onto Waveland Avenue, which is in left field, over the wall in left field, or into the bleachers, into the baskets in left center, right center, center field, deep to right field, off the scoreboard. There's a huge scoreboard right here that they've recently put up, and so you can hit it off of that if you really crank one. There's one deep to right center field, so into the bleachers here. So Wrigley Field kind of has a little bit more character as a baseball park than Great American Ballpark. And so any of the real character stadiums, like you know, you can hit it into the pool in Chase Field, or over the Monster. There's a couple of interesting things that happen in Fenway Park. Trying to think. Can't think of any other like really unique. Oh, you can hit it over the train tracks in Houston, or into the Crawford boxes. I've got that, you know, if you're playing in Houston. So just some like really ballpark specific type of results that come for each of these. And then they obviously have the wall heights and things like that, so you can decide before the game starts where are home runs going to be able to be robbed. It has to be 10 feet or lower. Wrigley's wall height is 11 feet all the way around. You're not robbing home runs. They have the basket there too, so you're just not going to rob home runs there. But other ballparks you will be able to, like here. You won't be able to in left field or left center, but in center field all the way around to right field you can rob home runs. And then the behind the plate foul territory and also down the lines is going to play into everything. So if you have, I don't think I printed them out here, but on fly balls, I don't have them printed out here, but some of these like where there's a fly ball down the line, or it's popped up on the first base side or the third base side, there's a foul ball check. And so in the game guide, it tells you how to do that foul ball check. But basically you're rolling a couple of D10 dice, and then you're checking it against these foul territory numbers to see did the ball stay in play or did it go out of play. And if it's out of play, obviously you just sort of re-roll. It's a strike, and then you re-roll a foul ball. If it's in play, then you take whatever the result is that's in that particular spot after the check. So it's all laid out, I hope, clear enough for you to be able to see that and use that. But it's a super fun game, really engaging, engages your mind and engages strategy and all kinds of things. There's some like actual strategies, but there's also sort of the internal game. How part of it is how did the players actually play, which you have. You'll have manager tendencies like this that show all the managers and what are their tendencies to do different things, but also how aggressive were they on the base paths. So you have that based off of taking extra bases, which we actually have those numbers for taking extra bases. And so we can see how aggressive teams are against the average, and then be able to assign that aggressiveness. And then the aggressiveness shows up on the like runner advancement on hits to the outfield. So going first to third, first to home, second to home, and then also trail runners for when a throw goes through to home or third base or second base. How aggressive are the trail runners based off of their running numbers. So we have their running speed here. And so the faster the runner, the better the base runner, or the higher the number, I guess, the better the base runner. He doesn't necessarily have to be super fast, although Christian Yelich is. But like Freddie Freeman is not a fast base runner, but he's a good base runner. So he's going to take extra bases, and he's aggressive and takes those bases when he can. So he actually probably has a pretty high running number just because he's a good base runner, not necessarily speed. So try not to think about it like that. I was talking to someone today, and he was asking why all the players weren't carded. I stopped the plate appearances at 20. The problem is you'll run into some real funky things going on here with these numbers if you go to less than 20 plate appearances. If you think that's not good, then let me know, because what will happen is you'll have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 782 to 1,000, you know, and basically the player is going to be doomed to always do whatever he did in his actual season, because there just aren't enough percentages across the board for him to do something different. So if he singled in one plate appearance, he's essentially going to get a single if you put him in the game. And not that that's bad, you know, he got one plate appearance, he hit a single, and you would be replaying history. But it's kind of goofy, I think, to have a player just out there with one plate appearance. That said, I do have pitchers with a small number of plate appearance, or small number of innings pitched. Let's see. We got guys like I cut off pitchers, I believe, at 10 plate appearances. 10 batters faced, total batters faced. I did that because I wanted to weed out position players, although sometimes they still sneak in there. I saw Luke, is it Maley for the Cincinnati? So this guy here, he's got 3 2/3 innings against righties, an inning and 2/3 against lefties. That's Caleb Killian, who was a player, and he pitched for the Cubs. I mean, I know who Caleb Killian is, just living here, but he didn't get a lot in. But you can see it already starts to kind of skew these things here. So you don't get enough opportunities. He did throw an inning and 2/3 against lefties, but you can already see it starting to get a little Spartan over here. The numbers are getting huge. So he's going to give up a hit 50% of the time against left-handers. And it already is a little bit ridiculous, even with limiting them to 10 batters faced. So if you're wondering why every single player is not in there, that's why. Because when I looked at the numbers, I didn't necessarily want those cards to be in the game, because they're just kind of ridiculous based off of the way that the engine is playing. So batters get at least 20 plate appearances. Pitchers, I want to say they get at least, I don't remember if they're 20 or 10. They might be 20 as well. But you're not going to get guys with the, they came in and faced 3 batters, and that was their whole season. So you're not going to get those. So sorry about that if that's your uncle or your brother or your son or someone that you wanted to see carded in the game. It's just not going to happen. You're going to have to substitute in someone else. That said, you're going to get 98% of the players that got into Major League Baseball, and it's almost 1,500 players, so it's a lot. Yeah, that's the game. So go out and get it. ClarkandAddisonGaming.com. I will put the link in the description. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, go over to Facebook groups and put in Clark and Addison Gaming Company. That's where I'm going to release everything first. Even these videos that I create go there first. So obviously YouTube subscribers are going to get those. And then Facebook, on the Facebook group, they're going to get those first. And then after that, I sometimes will share things out, especially if it's an interesting game. I'll share it to greater audiences. But those are the places where you're going to get the most interactivity with me, is here on Facebook, or here on YouTube, and then on Facebook. I'm also going to start putting things on the Delphi forum, a little bit here, a little bit there. If you're interested in on-base baseball, the 1980 printed roster sheets are out. I'll put the link down in the description to those two, just because I'm mentioning them here. But basically that is a printed version of on-base baseball. So it's a spiral bound printed version of the game. You can see it's got a hard cover on the outside and then glossy pages on the inside. And it's got all of the roster sheets that you need. So literally the 1980 baseball season using on-base baseball is in this booklet. You have the game chart, the game engine chart. You have all the players rated. And in this one, it is all the players, I believe. Every single player that got into a game in 1980. The reason is my ratings for that game are different than the ones here. So I'm using sabermetric ratings for this game. So if a player doesn't play very much, his number is going to be real close to 0. But in this game, it's more performance based as opposed to sabermetrically based. So it's his performance in terms of like what's his ground ball percentage, his fly ball percentage, etc. So how did he actually perform on the field, as opposed to it's not that sabermetrics are not measuring that, but it's not like a number that's been calculated. So these are more raw numbers than what I'm using in on-base baseball. But on-base is great. It plays super quick, like APA. It's a little bit of a marriage of APA and Strat, and brings together some different elements of both of those games. But you can play a game in 20 to 30 minutes. And the printed season set, basically you take the values and you put them onto a score sheet, and then you play with the game engine chart. So everything you need is in that book. It's in the game guide to show you how to play. If you want cards, I also do carded sets. In fact, you can get 1980 as a carded set as well. You can go to ClarkandAddisonGaming.com, click the big green button that says Shop All Games, and you'll find the 1980 carded set there, pretty close to the top because it's new. But you can also click on base baseball and see all of the carded sets that I have. So the carded sets comes with all the players who got into a game, plus all the roster sheet sets, but it's PDF only. So just know that you're gonna have to print and before you play, print and cut. The cards are super easy to cut. These cards are easy to cut. For on-base baseball, you get 6 to a page. It's like 1 cut down the middle, and then 1, 2, 3, and then that's all you need to do. For this set, it's 2 cuts vertical and 3 cuts horizontal. So also very easy to cut. It took me about 10 minutes to cut out a couple teams. Maybe 10 minutes to cut out all of the players for Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. So try to keep those things super simple and easy for you to do. I know that printing and cutting is not the most amazing thing to do. But once you have them, right? And so I try to make that process as easy as possible, so that you don't have to measure anything or like double cut, that type of stuff. So yeah, if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down in the comments section. If you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. That's a super easy way to help what I'm doing here. And if you like what I'm doing, just going to make a purchase. In fact, anybody who is a small game creator, if you like what they're doing, going and making a purchase is, we're not going to make $1 million off of this. But what it does is it really encourages, and it's like, okay, people are still playing this game. They're still interested in what I'm doing. I'll keep doing it. So if you want people to stick around and you like what they're doing, you should buy whatever they're doing. That's a surefire way with any product in any industry. Do you want them to stick around? Then help them out, like buy something. Because it's a real encouragement to me that to put so much time and effort into a game like this and then 2 people buy it, that's a super deflating sort of thing. So, and I don't judge myself by how many people buy it, but I don't want to waste my time. So if you like this game and you're interested in it, go out and purchase it. It's only $12 for the Precision Baseball game. I keep the price low because there's a lot of printing that's going to happen here, and it's color printing. So I understand that these days paper and print and ink and all that kind of stuff is tighter than it has been in the past. And so if I can bring the price of the game down just a little bit and get it into more people's hands, then I want to do that. It's also on par with games like Inside Pitch and some others. On-base baseball doesn't have quite as many things to print, and it's mostly in black and white. So the price is a little bit steeper for that. And you also get like 2 different versions of playing the game. I mean, you get a lot of things with the on-base baseball. So that price is $15, so it's a little bit higher. But it is equivalent to an APBA or a Strat, which you can't get APBA in PDF. And Strat in PDF is expensive. And both of those games in cards are very expensive. So it's maybe a more economical way to get to a similar type of game. All right. Appreciate everybody's support. The game is off and going, and I'll continue to promote it, talk about it. I'm going to continue playing out these first opening day games. So hopefully you'll get even more of a sense of all the different teams that are available and the players and how they're going to play. A lot of people are concerned always about accuracy and are the players going to look and feel like they should? To me, I think that this is a totally reasonable game based off of what I've seen from these 2 teams. Milwaukee, obviously a playoff team. Cubs just outside the playoffs last year, but they didn't really get it cooking until late. So it was, it felt like a game that I kind of thought Justin Steele stumbled a little bit in the middle, but picked himself right back up. That's what Justin Steele would do as a number 1. Brendan Woodruff pitched like a number 1, number 2. And it's exactly what you would think, when the ball is out there getting thrown and hit. And Wrigley Field didn't come into play much, but the field will come into play every once in a while with the game. So go out, check it out, clarkandaddisongaming.com. Connect with me on Facebook. Send me an email, clarkandaddisongaming@gmail.com. If you want to send something more long form, or you have some thoughts, or show appreciation, or whatever you want to do, you can email me. You can also go to the website, click on the contact form, send that. It goes to the same email address. So maybe that's an easier way for you to do it. There's an add to cart button. So if you want to look around a little bit and add more than just Precision Baseball, that'd be awesome. I have football, a few different baseball games, and then a basketball game as well called Up-Tempo Basketball that you can check out. Look online, not only on my YouTube channel, but a couple of others. You'll see people are playing Up-Tempo. I haven't seen anybody playing Play Action Football, which is my new football game, but I play it, and I have a video series introducing the whole thing. So just look on here. You'll find the Play Action Football tutorial series. With preseason games coming up, I'll start looking a little bit more toward that. I have 1991 NFL in the works, and I've already got 3 seasons out for that one: 2023, 2007, and 1985. So a few different eras there of NFL football, and you can play each of those using the Play Action Football game engine, which is a lot of fun. It's a whole football game in 2 hours or less, and play by play, and you get the stats and you get everything. So you should check that out too. There's a free season available, or a free demo available, and you can download that demo and play the last 4 teams from 2023. So the AFC and NFC championship games from last year, from 2023, and then play that for free. You'll get a sense of the game. You just play each of those teams. You can get several games out of just 4 teams, and then you can get a feel for how the game plays. And it cuts corners in some places in order to shave off some time, but also it majors on some pretty cool things as well, as far as like head-to-head matchups, and it takes more of a team focus, but you are able to get individual stats out of it. So just give it a try and see what it's like. Play a half. It's only going to take you 45 minutes or something like that to play a half, and you'll get a pretty good feel for the game. All right, I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.